back immediately with the haves and have-nots, which, oh dear God in heaven, today, this show, good day neighbors and niggers, haves and the have-nots. Let's get into it. Little Quincy has passed away. Melissa is on the bed of death. She's on her deathbed. She's bleeding all, from her wrists and all of this. Jeffrey is hollering, trying to save her. Then Melissa says something strange. She says that her mom, because Jeffrey's like, talk about your mom, talk about your mom. And she says that her mom is just like Jeffrey's mom. And I'm like, then you should be used to, like, no shade and not, diminishing, her depression and this, that, and the other. Because Lord knows I'm going through it today, right now. The last couple of weeks have been annoying. But you should be a little bit more used to dealing with it if your mom and his mom are just alike. Boy, no, she done slit her wrist because her daddy did. Jeffrey's calling Veronica. She doesn't answer. He goes to her room and calls her name, and she says, don't you see that I'm trying to sleep? And then he spills the tea about, she's in here half dead, and she goes in there and slaps this girl. If you die, I'll kill you. If something happens to this baby, I can't be bothered. And da-da-da-da-da. It was just annoying. It was annoying. And then Veronica proceeds to tell her to die, B, so I can make your mama's life and your grandmama's life a living hell, and your family's gonna suffer. And I'm like, Candace comes by Erica's hotel, and she's, the whole situation was very suspicious and annoying, because they're just side-eyeing each other. Both of them are just like, and I'm just like, oh, Jesus, I can't, y'all. Erica then proceeds to let her know about the presidential candidate that I believe she slept with last season, or, the other portion of this season, because this is season 4, episode 12. This is not season whatever, episode 1, because we prolong these things, and it's awful. But I'm here, and I'm giving it to you. Candace says she's staying at this hotel, and Erica says, well, you can't stay here with me. And Candace says, sis, I wasn't asking. I stole somebody's room key, and I'm just going to stay in their room. And then she ignores Benny's call, and then they discuss David's sexual prowess and how he has the body of an athlete and the stamina of one. And I'm like, David's fine and everything, but I didn't need that. I didn't need it. Erica texts War and lets him know that Candace is here in my room right now. And then he proceeds to text her and say, oh yeah, we killed the baby. And then Erica shook down boots. And I'm like, so you was all good with your good girlfriend Candace being murdered down boots, but when you find out that her son is killed, you're shook. And now she's just, give me a hug. Don't you want to stay here? Are you going to call Benny back? I feel like something's not, just come here and give me some love. I'm like, oh, Jesus. Jesus. Jeezus. No, Z-U-Z. Jesus. Because I can't. Oscar and David meet at the bar, and I don't care. And Oscar tells David that he's dealing with a pro-ho. Jim pops in, and I care even less. And then they see Candace over across the bar, and Jim is giving, oh, Miss Young, come here, Miss Young. And David's like, don't call her over here. And Oscar's like, oh, no, please do. And she comes over, and she is telling Jim about the pictures she has of him. He's telling her that the police have the pictures and you don't have them. And I'm like, it's only logical, even if she doesn't, because this is Tyler Perry's production and she probably doesn't have backup, but it is logical to assume that she has backup somewhere. Somewhere. This is a whore now. She has locations. Whores have locations where they hide whore things. And it's just logical to assume that she has these pictures on a file hidden in a whole location. Like, it just makes sense. Anyway, and then Jim proceeds to tell, the guys, David and Oscar, or Brandon, whatever his name is, about how she murdered Quincy and buried him in the backyard, and paints this elaborate photo, this picture of what happened, which is basically what happened. And then David says, now that was a big nigga. How did you do that? And she's like, oh, your son did it. And he shook down boots. Oh, we shook now, huh? Anyway, like, you knew your son and this girl are good girlfriends. You knew that. Anyway, and then Jim asks if, all of this was worth it, and she says yes, and then he says he wants her, and she says, I don't want you, and he tries to force her to drink a martini, and I'm like, it's poison, because he's doing too much, and she doesn't want it, and he's like, drink the martini, and she's like, I'm not gonna drink the martini, and he's like, drink the martini, and I'm not gonna drink the martini, and drink the martini, I don't want the martini, drink the martini, and I'm like, Tyler Perry, if you don't stop it, Tylisha, you will stop today with all of this back and forth. You'll stop it today. Anyway, David calls Jeffrey. He doesn't answer. Hannah and Benny are at the hospital, and I'm like, okay, so they're sitting down in the waiting room. Hopefully that means the baby is in surgery and he's gonna make it. And then Benny calls Catherine and tells her that little Q is certified dead. And I was like, dang it. I was rooting. I was hoping that Tylisha wouldn't do this to us, but she did. Catherine is shook boots, shook down. She's just, oh my God, little Quincy is dead. I'm coming to the hospital. I'll be there in just a moment. And I'm just like, I could see, as soon as Catherine said, I'm coming to the hospital, I said, okay, so Hannah and Benny are at the hospital. Quincy's at the hospital, obviously, he's passed on. Catherine is coming to the hospital. Melissa, they've called the ambulance for Melissa, so Melissa, Jeffrey, and Veronica are going to be at the hospital. This is just going to be a big hospital reunion. That's what I'm thinking. Wyatt, whom I forgot about, is over there still dying of heroin, and I'm like, give this boy his heroin. He's about to die. Give him some. Give him a taste. Anyway, Hannah's torn up, and she's going on, and this part here, I had to pause it. I had to pause the show several times, and my mom was just like, girl, it's gonna be okay. It's stupid, but we gonna make it through. I paused the show several times, but I paused it for a long time right here. When Hannah was giving, there's a cycle of abuse, and it's just a cycle, and that boy has had it hard his whole life. Talking about little Quincy. And I tried to break the cycle, and now he's dead. And I'm saying, like, so you acknowledge that there is a cycle. You acknowledge that little Q was a part of the cycle, and that Candace is a part of the cycle, but you cannot acknowledge that you had something to do with this. You cannot acknowledge that you are the one, probably, that started the cycle, if not you, your mother, because it's a cycle and it continues. So it probably started back in the day, and you continued the cycle, but you can't acknowledge that you messed up your daughter, and now you got a whore daughter out here acting a fool, giving foolishness and murdering the girls, sleeping with whomever, and doing this, that, and the other. You can't acknowledge that this is your fault. You can't acknowledge that when your daughter needed you, you couldn't make her some pork chops and buttermilk biscuits and sit her down and say, I don't agree with you in this whore lifestyle. I don't agree, but I'm your mother and I love you. You couldn't give her that. You had to give her, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. Da, 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 da. And now this girl is out here acting a fool and your grandson is dead. You know why? Because the cycle that you actively tried to work against, but can't acknowledge your part in. I can't do it. I can't do it, and I won't do it, not on this evening, not on tonight, not on today, not yesterday, not forevermore. I can't do it. I can't do it with niggas who have a big hand and stuff, and they want to look over, you know, they muddled it up, and then they want to step aside and look from the side and say, that is a mess. I can't believe I'm gonna pray for that. You did it. You did. I can't do it today. Y'all, my patience is thin. I'm tired, and I'm sick, and I'm depressed, and I just want to go to bed, but I got to do my hair and get up for work in the morning, so I can't. Anyway, Mama Rose pops by the hospital, and, you know, well, what's his name, y'all? Benny's friend. My boy, Mitch. He comes by and he's giving, you know, I'm so sorry for your loss. And then Mama Rose pops in and is like, so these niggas shooting at you? We're not having that. Who is it? Mitch is trying to shut Benny up, but Benny's like, his name is Warlock Lewis, and he lives on the east side at 11052 West Lake Lane, 7252. Like he's giving all the deets. His phone number is 602-111-59. Like, he's giving the whole detail, and I'm just like, yeah, he gotta die. And Mitch is like, no, no. Mama Rose got all that she needed to know. She got on that phone and she said, find him, kill him. And I said, amen. Somebody's got to die today because Lil Quincy didn't deserve. We don't know what's going on with Melissa. You know, Veronica comes and she sits down and she's like, well, what's going on with Melissa? He doesn't know. What's going on with the baby? He doesn't know. She gets up and she asks the nurse, you know, what's going on with Melissa? And she's like, well, the doctor, you know, is very busy with patients. And she gives, I know the owner of the hospital. And if you don't have a doctor here in 3 minutes, I will blah, blah, blah. And your student loans. Then she puts on her stopwatch and says, you're on the clock. Now, 3 minutes later, the doctor wasn't there. But, you know, this is Tylisha's time. And so, you know, every second on the show is 5 days in real life. So whatever. But then she calls somebody, well, before we get there, she makes a woman get up from her seat so she can sit next to her son. The woman gets up and sits on the other side of Jeffrey, and then she makes her get up again and says, this is a private conversation, and you know, go, all these seats, go sit somewhere else. And I'm just like, you are awful. And Jeffrey says, you just can't not be a bee, can you? And then Jeffrey says, you know, this is your fault. You made this girl try to kill herself. And Veronica goes into, I didn't slit her wrist personally, and blah, blah, blah. And then she calls somebody and says, I know your son's graduation is tomorrow or whatever, but I need you to come clean up the house. And she, is like, you can do that or you're fired. And she says, well, you can come tonight. And then he, whoever it is like, bus? I can't, ain't no buses running at 4 a.m. And she's like, I'm supposed to be worried about you catching a bus at 4 a.m. Like, that's my problem. I'm like, you are evil. And I don't understand why, for 28-ish years, I believe it was 28 years, David could not see that his wife was evil. I don't understand. It doesn't make sense. Anyway, so Veronica tells this person, to clean around the scene, but don't make the bed, just clean around the scene. And then David gets Jeffrey on the phone and, they talk. He says he's coming to the hospital. So now we've got, who is this? Veronica, Jeffrey, Melissa, whether she be with us or not. Catherine is on her way. Benny, Hanna are at the hospital. The Malones are running all around the hospital. And so all of these people are just at the hospital. Because, they've only got 4 establishments in Savannah, Georgia, in Tylisha's land. They've got, we've recently expanded to 3 hotels. And I guess maybe 2 hospitals. So 5. Catherine pops up. And she just happens to pop up in the very location that Veronica is. And they're standing face to face. And she's giving Veronica, Catherine. And it goes off. And I'm just like. Like, comment, and subscribe. And all the things YouTubers say. All my information. You know where it is down below. Matea's GoFundMe. I thought I was going to sneeze. Matea's GoFundMe is in the description box. Click the link. If you've got, Catherine Cryer dollars, we would love a donation. If you got Candace Young, no dollars, we would love a prayer. If you're somewhere in between, we would love a donation and a prayer. We'll take donations and prayers either way. I'm saying we, but this has nothing to do with me. You can click the link, find out all the tea. Anyway, I'm finna go take a nap because all of this has drained me. And I'm gonna take a nap, then I'm gonna get up and finish my hair because this is just unacceptable. Anyway, peace.